Hey guys, welcome back to the NicKey Performance channel. It's June 23rd, 2025, Monday morning, the Monday after Sick Summer 2025. And here we are back at the shop. I wanted to thank the promoters. Tom Bailey does an excellent job, and it is such a kick-ass event. If you can make one of the sick events, you definitely want to give it a shout. Here's the NicKey office. Yeah, we got stuff everywhere. But what I wanted to do was talk a little bit about our car that we ran at Sick Summer 2025, and we drove it to the track and back from the track, and I just parked it here. I got home probably at midnight on Sunday, and just drove the car here and parked it. And so you're looking at it, the dirty and the way we ran it the last day at Byron, where the best ET was a 930 and the best mile an hour we had was 152.8, so almost 153 miles an hour. So here's what's neat about this car. It's got a lot of modifications. It has our 1150 horsepower Stage II package that we developed early on. And we've built many cars with this option package, and there's guys that run them at the track. We use these cars in numerous different events, including this car. This is not a race car per se. It's a street car that you can take racing and have some fun with. It does not have a cage. It does not require a cage. It does not have a parachute. So anything faster than 90 and 150 per NHRA requires a cage and a parachute. So we've run Sick Summer they've had it out here in the Midwest for 3 years, and we've done each of those 3 years. The first year we ran, first and second year, we set up for the 10-0 class. So technically, if you ran any faster than 10-0, your run was disqualified. So you had to run, it was 10-0 or slower. So there were cars running, 22-second ETs. But we wanted to try to run as close to that 10-0 index as we could. And our 2-year average, which would have been 10 different runs, a different track every day, 5 per year, was right at a 10-1. So the car was very consistent in that class. It's crazy how tight these guys can run on their indexes in order to win the class. But really the key to the event is to have a bunch of fun with the event. And you see the coolest cars, you meet some of the nicest people, establish some great friendships and relationships. And the show, the cars that you get to see run, the fastest street cars in the world do run these events. There's cars that run well into the sixes at over 200 miles an hour that are street legal and drive the whole event. You cannot trailer the car after the event has started. You can only trailer to the event. And we probably did 1,000 miles over that week, only because we drove to and from the event. We didn't trailer, and where we stayed was not right next to the tracks. We had a little bit of extra driving, so 1,000 miles. But the first couple of years, we ran the car, same exact setup, same pulleys. We changed nothing mechanically. We did nothing different with the tune. And on 93 pump gas, the car was making right at 770 horsepower, if I remember correctly. And on a normal average fall or midsummer day, that package has been capable of running 970s at about 141 miles an hour on a super cool mineshaft low day in a zero density altitude day. That setup could probably run a 950 at 143 or so. We don't get a lot of those opportunities here in the Midwest. In order to run at sea level or below, you generally have to run on a really cool fall day, or go out east in order to set those super low ETs. But anyway, that was pump gas. The car ran very consistent. Technically, no major issues. We did have 1 year a thermostat stick closed, and we replaced that. And I did have a fuel fitting come loose this year, and we were able to tighten that up without too much issue and get right back on the road. We do not pull a trailer. I take out the back seat, which is allowed, and we put lots of stuff back there, like we have a canopy to keep the sun off of us and a scooter to get around. And there's my 6 Summer straw hat, as well as lots of other stuff. I mean, this car is as close to street, other than the drag pack that I have on the car, which are the drag radials in the rear and the skinnies up front, and we drive the car that way. But we do not pull a trailer. We've done it 3 years, over 3,000 miles, and no trailer necessary. We fit everything in the car. And the setup was designed to, the first couple years was to show our customers that you could do an event like this, show up to the track, have a good time, and you didn't need any special equipment. You didn't have to have a 10.0 or slower, and I believe 140 miles an hour or less. There is no NHRA license required, and there is no special equipment needed for the car. You do need a helmet, and you do need a first level fire jacket, and long pants. The SICK summer events run to NHRA guidelines, and so that's pretty cool. So we wanted to show our customers, like, hey, we can build one of these Stage 2 packages for you. You can take it to the track, and you can run consistent 10.0s. Now, the cars will go quicker than that, but if you do, then you need additional equipment, and anything quicker than 10.0 requires an NHRA license, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, 10.0 doesn't sound super quick in today's modern world, but these 6 Summer cars are some of the fastest street cars in the world. People come from different parts of the world, Australia, Germany, New Zealand, Wisconsin, all over the country to compete. And out of the 350 or so entrants, give or take, that are there year to year, I think last year we had the 58th fastest car running a 10.0. So that's not slow by any standards, and it's super fun, and the cars can be very, very competitive and consistent, and you can run this event. You just fill up with gas at the pump. We did have a few situations where the only thing we could find was 91 octane, and we put a little bit of octane boost to keep us where we needed to be, and we've run that. So this year, I do have an NHRA license, and I wanted to run a little bit quicker. So there's a class that it's called the DYO, Dial Your Own Index Pro, and the fastest you can run in that grouping is 850. And I can run that class again without a cage, without a parachute, as long as I am slower than 90 and 150 miles an hour. So we've run this car before, and it's pretty consistent at 930s on, again, a normal DA day. Take it out in the summer, and it'll run 930s all day long. It does approach, right, it's right at the 150 mile an hour number, which anything faster than that requires a cage and a parachute. So we wanted to kind of stick to that number. And so any quicker, generally, we're going to run a little bit faster. So we basically knew what the car could run. It just was a matter of seeing if it would be consistent and how it would do on those super hot days. And the car did run pretty consistently at that 930 number. We had a little bit of an issue with traction early on, so we ran some slower times because the car was not hooking, even though the track was properly prepped. We solved that issue with the way I was launching the car. So I just launch it off the foot brake at about 1200 RPM. I'm launching still in first gear, and the car will go a little bit quicker once we set it up to launch in second gear, and I can come off the converter a little bit with a little bit more RPM. But our 60 foots were in the 140 range. This car has gone a best of 60 foot of 132, and I was not able to duplicate that at this current event, but I did run some 140s, and that's okay. Puts the car right at that 930 number. You know, had I done a 135, the car would have run a little bit quicker even on those hot days. So the DYO class, even though it's 850 or slower, this car, you cannot run any quicker than 90 or 150 miles an hour. Again, no cage, no parachute. Anything faster than 10.0 does require a engine, belly pan, or diaper. And there's not a lot of room for diapers on these cars, so we fabbed up a belly pan and bolted that on and kept that on during the whole event. The belly pan does have to be 2 inches deep, and that does reduce your ground clearance, so you need to be careful going over bumps and potholes. You can take it off track to track, but we wanted to leave it on and just drive the car from the to the track and back just the way we had it set up. And so that's the only thing we did to it, other than what we did from last year is I put a 15-inch wheel tire combo on there because we were hoping to be able to launch a little bit harder. And so as opposed to the 305s that I ran the prior couple of years, I've got 325s on there. And we switched to full E85, even though we never got up to E85. I think the best we were able to get was E73, so that's 73% ethanol, which will give us most of the benefits of the ethanol, but that's what the car ran on. We just got the fuel out of the pump, and we ran E85 the whole way because it was accessible, and it's a lot cheaper than Premium 93, and then I didn't have to worry about what my mix was. I was, when I showed up to the track, I knew I was, running the best E content that I could have. That difference between, so the way we tune these cars is that they are set up to run on flex fuel. So you can run the 93, if that's what the car's tuned to, or you can run the E85. So just switching to the E85 makes almost a 200 horsepower difference without changing the pulleys. We ran the same pulley combo at the 770 wheel on pump as we did at the 1000 wheel on E85. And that pulley combo is an 80 millimeter upper and a 5% over lower, which is an 8.295. And that produces approximately On the high end, it's between 15 and 16 pounds of boost, which is very, very conservative. We are still running a stock bottom end on the car. And basically what we've done is work on the top end of the car. So this car has our proprietary, meaning there are specs. We have the cams made to our specifications. I don't actually have a cam grinder, and we don't grind the cams here in the shop, but we give comp cams our specs, and they grind the cam for us. So we do that with all of our camshafts, and what's interesting about that is very, very few other builders will do that, and our cams have been copied but never duplicated. And important to us is also the sound, not just the horsepower, but the sound quality that you get out of the cam, and drivability is paramount. These cars have to drive excellent, like they were designed by the factory, and these cars do that. Just talk to anybody that's got a NicKey Super Camaro, and you'll find people that take them on vacation, drive them thousands of miles to different events, all with incredible drivability. So it's not just the horsepower that you get, it's the whole package. So this car features the big Magnuson 2650 Supercharger. It moves more air and it runs cooler. Once you spin it faster than the stock GM Supercharger, which really helps us with consistency. This car does not run on methanol. It is E85 and pump gas only. There's no special cooling features. There's not a nitrous tank bottle to help cool the charge. It's kind of a very basic setup when it comes to that respect. If anything is exotic, it's the port injection system, which, you know, a few years ago was unique. Now everybody's doing it for fueling, because you do have to get the fueling right on these cars, because they do go through a lot of fuel on the E85 aspect. So this is a direct injected engine, and we run the High PSI port injection system. There's the reflex computer controller right there for the High PSI system. We're running 112 millimeter throttle body, which has great drivability, a 5-inch tube Big Gulp RotoFab. We have our NicKey 2-inch diameter primary tube limited edition exhaust headers made for us by American Racing Headers. Again, we talked about our camshaft. Just so people know, we do run Johnson Racing lifters. They have performed flawlessly for us. We have had no issues with the Johnsons, and they're very stable at high RPMs, and they help us sustain the power and the consistency of the engine. It has ported heads and some other ancillary parts. You know, we use an ATI damper, which helps with our harmonics, as well as allows us to bolt different size pulley combinations. And we use Ktech pulleys up on top. The in-tank fueling system is a DSX dual basket with twin Warburg fuel pumps. I believe they're the 465s, if I remember correctly. But they're in a basket, and there's two of them, and the basket helps retain fuel under G-force load, plus the fuel sensor and everything works as factory. So when we road race this car, we can go down to a quarter of a tank if we have to. And with 20-minute sessions at Road America, you go through a lot of fuel in these cars. So the DSX system worked very, very well, and we have absolutely no issues with the fueling. So NicKey Super Camaro 1150 horsepower Stage II option, and we're out proving what it can do. This package actually is capable, and we'll probably go out and prove it this fall, but if you are a student of drag racing numbers, on a cool day, changing up, without adding any more horsepower to the engine, this car's capable of running an 890 or a 90, probably at 155 miles an hour, which is a pretty quick package for a stock bottom end car that's engineered to last. Longevity is very, very important to us. This is my personal car, and although I do have another built long block ready to go for this car, I am not ready to install it just yet, and I still want to drive and enjoy what we have here with the stock setup. Oh, and also, so no converter, stock converter, and stock tuned transmission, properly tuned transmission. This car probably has over 100 drag strip runs on it at the, well, let's just say at least 50 at 1,000 wheel, at least 50, and at least 50 at the 770 wheel horsepower. And the transmission is holding up excellent. We did a fluid change right before we went on the Six Summer event, and the fluid was clean with no issues. We do run a thicker weight oil when we are racing, either road racing or drag racing, and we change that out for regular driving events where we're not running at wide open all the time. And our go-to standard oil for these cars is 040 AMSOIL full synthetic signature series oil. And running AMSOIL in all of our race vehicles, including motorcycles and other vehicles, we've never had an oil related engine failure due to the oil, ever. So that's what we recommend, but you do need to pay attention to what you run, and I don't recommend running any of these modified cars on 530. I know there's guys out there that do it, but I take these engines apart on a daily, and we pay attention to what's going on with them and the wear characteristics, and I'm just letting you know that 530 is not the way to go for a performance vehicle, or at least not our cars. That's not what you're going to get if you come to us for work. To let everybody know, the Stage 3 vehicles, that we build, which are much more rare and unique, the only difference is that we change out the short block. And so this will go from a Stage 2 to a Stage 3 once we change out the short block. And our short block, we're using a stock LT4 prepped block, but we have better pistons, we have better rods, we have a better crankshaft, and then we have better hardware and fasteners that hold everything together. We will be using the same stroke, only because there is no need to stroke these to get more power. You can get more power out of by just spinning the supercharger a little bit harder, a little bit faster, and you run a limitation of what the chassis can hold or handle. This is still the stock independent rear suspension, and the car is very, very stock. It's full weight other than the drag pack and removing the back seat for that event, but there's no other weight reduction. We've got the air conditioned seats. We've got in fact, this car has an aftermarket stereo system in it. It's got some hush mat in the trunk. So this car comes in right at, without a driver, at 4,000 pounds. Now, the car it's a full option car. It's got every option. It's got the PDR option. It's got the sunroof option. So it's a pretty heavy car. So with me in it, it comes in, and gas, it comes in at about 4,200 pounds. So it's not light, but these cars are just so fun, so reliable when built properly, and you can really have a good time with them. And so it's a true street car, you know, as all the cars are technically for Six Summer. But you know, we'll hop in this car and go out to dinner. We'll go to a car show. We'll go for a ride in the country, and we'll race it. Half mile, quarter mile, road race, autocross. That's what makes these things so fun. Now, I do back down on the power. We have, when you buy one of these packages from us, it comes with 3 pulley combinations, and we go all the way down from our 80 millimeter. I should say we go up. We go from an 80 to a 90 to a 110, and the 110 is my preferred use on the road race course because it helps the car run cooler, and road racing is very, very much about skill and not all about the power level. So you know, at that point we're pushing, I don't know, let's say 700-ish horsepower to the rear wheels, and on a tight road course, that's doing pretty good. At Road America, I don't mind having a little bit more power because that is such a fast track. That track technically has 3 straightaways, and one of our cars has been clocked, full weight street car, other than the road race wheel. Well, actually, it had ZL1 1LE 19-inch wheels, and that car was clocked via radar at 174 miles an hour going down the front straight, weighing in at 4,200 pounds. That's a lot of power and a lot of speed. So, NicKey Performance of Loves Park, Illinois. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to give us a call. Area code 630-377-1222. And thanks for following the channel. We appreciate you guys. Thanks.